Okay, welcome to the first day of Module 7, our last module, and by far the most important. This is why I asked for the 2-week extension for our classes so we could do a good job with this module, because this kind of puts everything together that we've learned all semester. Plus, we learned some really important things for later math classes in this module. So, welcome. And this first one's nice and short. Like I said in my email, I didn't feel bad giving a retest on Wednesday because this is not a 2-hour lesson. So hour for the test, hour for the notes. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to concentrate on at the beginning of Module 7 is rate of change, slope, how fast things are changing, how fast they're going up, how fast they're going down, or are they remaining constant? So this is our introduction, kind of a fun little thing. Then we have a group activity, which obviously I know you're not going to be able to do in your groups, but I'll walk you through it and we'll have some fun with it. So the graph below shows water levels in a reservoir over a number of days. Answer the questions below the graph. So here I see we have height in water, and this is in meters, because remember we always have to label our answers. And this is number of days. So how many days are recorded? Well, the easiest way is just to count the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can see that matches with what we have there. So don't just write 8, write 8 days. And I know Alex kind of spoils you because it puts the labels on a lot of times, but you're not going to have online tests for the rest of your math life. So you have to get used to always labeling your answers. What was the highest water level? So I look right here, the highest point on the graph, and it looks like that water level was 25 meters. And you could write m or meters, but these are short little answers, so I'm going to write it out. What was the lowest water level? And we can see right here there were 4 days and they were all the same low. So that would be 10 meters. What happened from day 3 through day 6? So day 3 through day 6, you can see the water level remained the same. And you may remember this from the last module. This is a horizontal line. Remember how we learned the slope of a horizontal line is 0. Fun. That means there was 0 change, because slope and rate of change are the same thing. So when we write 0 for the slope, we're also saying 0 is the rate of change. And you can see there is absolutely no rate of change. It stayed 10, stayed 10, stayed 10. So what happened from day 3 through day 6? The water level remained Kim, forgot my E there. The water level remained the same. So let's just put a little thing. Slope equals rate of change equals 0. That means no change. So the water level remained the same at 10 meters high. And again, paper pencil test, we were really picky about what students wrote. They had to write nice full sentences, everything labeled, very descriptive. Obviously, we don't get that luxury with Alex, but at least I can show you the correct way. So when you go on to other classes, you know the correct way to write things and so on. So the water level remained the same, which means slope, which is the same thing as rate of change, is 0. So these two are the same thing. Let's put a double arrow. Slope, rate of change, how fast things are changing, how fast they're going up, how fast they're going down, are both zero because there's no change. What would you predict for day 9? Well, we look at day 6 to day 7, and it looks like it went up about 5. And then we look from day 7 to day 8, and it looks like it went up about 5. So if it remains the same, I'm guessing it would be about 20, right? That's not a very straight line. I'm not very good at drawing on an angle. So I'm guessing it would be about 25 for day 9. What do you guys think? Remaining the same here? Looks good? Okay. For day 9, let me move this up so you can all see. I predict the water level will be 25 meters high. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to page 2. Okay, in mathematics, we refer to the rate of change as the speed at which something is changing over time. So I can give you an example. I am driving 50 miles per hour. So I'm telling you about the speed over a specified period of time, which was 1 hour. So rate of change and slope are the same thing as speed. Rate of change, slope, speed. So it's a speed, something is changing. So I have to always have the word per because it's per a specific period of time. So anytime you're looking for what the slope is or the rate of change or the speed, it'll always be revolutions per minute, miles per hour, kilometers per hour. So as you look down here, you'll see per, and then you have to do it per. So they're using per because they're asking about rate of change. So rate of change and speed and slope are always going to have the words per in them. So rate of change is something per something, like miles per hour. So that word per should always be contained in your rate of change statements. So looking back at the graph, describe what is happening to the height of the water from day 1 to day 3. So I detached my picture. So day 1 to day 3, the water level went down 15 meters in 2 days. But usually when we're talking about meters, like I don't say, oh, I was driving 100 miles per 2 hours. I say 50 miles per hour. So we usually just want 1 unit of time. So rather than saying the water level decreased by 15 meters over 2 days, it would be better to say the water level decreased by half of 15 is 7.5. So approximately 7.5 meters per day rather than saying 15 meters per 2 days. Because rate, speed, usually we say per 1 unit of time. Miles per 1 hour. Revolutions per 1 minute. So it's 15. So 15 meters per 2 days. And does everybody remember from perhaps your 08 days or previous math class that per is division? So per means divide. So the water level decreased by 15 meters over 2 days. So let's go ahead and put a negative there since it went down. Remember how we learned about slope in the last section? That it goes down is negative. When it goes up, the slope is positive. When it's horizontal, the slope is 0. So this is an example of this. It's going down, so that should be a negative slope. So negative 15 meters over a 2-day period, went from 25 to 10. That's 15 meters from this day to this day. Okay, so what is happening to the water level from day 1 to day 3? So we usually want per 1 day. So if we divide both of these by 2, because we want this to be 1, it'd be negative 7.5 meters per 1 day. So you're probably thinking, how did she know to divide by 2? Because as I was saying, speed is miles per 1 hour. So we don't want to know what happens in 2 days. We want to know what happens in 1 day. So then when we go to write our description, we don't say negative 7.5 meters per day. We use a word to describe the negative. So we'd say the water level was going down 7.5 meters per day. So when we write a written sentence, we do not put the negative in it. If I just said, what's the slope? You would write this. But when I'm asking you to write a sentence about what happens, then you use another word. You don't say negative 7.5. You'd say something that makes sense with the problem. Is going down 7.5 meters per day. Okay, so the height of the water and there's a lot of things we could write. We could say going down, decreasing, diminishing. Use whatever word you mean, but it has to be the same as meaning a negative. So we're not going to say negative 7.5, but we use words that mean that. So the height of the water is going down 7.5 meters. I think decreasing would have been better. I wish I would have picked that, but too late. Per day. So remember how I said anytime you're talking about slope or rate of change, make sure your sentence has the word per in it. And when you write a sentence, make sure you don't write negative 75. You use a word that means negative, decreasing, diminishing, going down. Okay, so complete this statement. The rate of change of the height of the water is what? So now we're not writing a sentence. When we write a sentence, we get rid of the negative and use words. But when we're writing about the rate of change, we would do this. Negative 7.5 meters per day. So right here would be negative 7.5. And again, it's negative because it's going down. And we learned in Module 6, when a line falls from left to right, that is a negative slope. Okay, so I think we have time to do one more. Let's go ahead and try. Complete this statement. The rate of change of the height of water from day 3 to day 6. So day 3 to day 6, the rate of change was 0 because there's 0 change in the height. So that would be 0 meters per day. And we'll stop there and do the last 2 on the next video.